Boneworks and Half-Life Alyx have been in the top-selling VR spots since their release dates. They've been on top for so long. If their age were in dog years, they'd be well into their 30s now, buying their house for 3 times its market price. But both being big-name games in the VR scene, what's the defining quality as to why you should purchase both of these games? Also, I made a Discord server, links below, go join. This wasn't me asking, this was me tell. Before we start, I'd just like to tell the person who had been living under a rock for 20 years and the person who just got a Quest 2 yesterday, a brief description of both of these games. Boneworks is a VR game drowned in that Galileo special so much that I'm still finding new ways to complete the puzzles in the game in new ways. Its unique approach is that it's one of the first VR titles to give you a full body representation of your character, which in turn lets you interact with your in-game body like you would in real life. No, not like. To sum it up, Boneworks is the lone wolf of VR. Its creative decision to break the boundaries of what is normalized in virtual reality makes this game special. And now to the game that caused the VR headset drought in 2019, Half-Life Alyx. In 2007, otherwise known as first grade for me, Half-Life 2 Episode 2 left on a cliffhanger that left everyone waiting to see what happened to these very two important characters. Then Valve decided they would rather make fuck me money through Steam than ever make another Half-Life game again, leaving us all wondering what could have been. That is until 2019 happened, also known as senior year of high school for me, and they finally decided on what to do next. 12 years later, they gave us Half-Life Alyx, a game that doesn't know which side of Half-Life 2 it's on. So you can see where these games are both important and why people care about both of these titles. Despite whatever I put as the title for this video, I would highly recommend purchasing both if you can. But that's not the video you wanted. Anyways, here's me rambling on for whoever knows how long. I don't know, I'm editing. Starting with Boneworks, the first time you launch the game, you're greeted with what appears to be standard VR adjustments for yourself. Then to MythOS, the main antagonist? It's the virtual OS that your character Arthur Ford is working in. After that, you're dumped straight into the main lobby area of the game, where you'll select the story missions or the sandboxy type of gameplay. Half-Life Alyx starts you off with the ominous Valve logo and the guy who needs to get his brain checked. I'm not gonna lie though, seeing the normal Valve logo, then 12 years later seeing it in full immersive VR made me so happy. Anyways, the main selection screen is that of the main promo art for the game. Once started, you're greeted with a white screen with some black mold floating everywhere. Wait. Black mold. Gabe, I told you to turn off the valves when you're done in the bathtub! To give a point to either one, I'd like to pick Half-Life for giving a proper yet nostalgic intro. Starting with Alyx, this will be your only spoiler warnings for either game. You start off looking at the Citadel, a base of operations for the main bad guy of the series, the Combine. You walk inside, talk on the phone with Alyx's father Eli, and the new character from this game, Russell. In short terms, the Combine knew you stole something, they kidnap your father, you save him, you realize they're hiding something called the Vault, which then is believed to have Gordon Freeman inside, otherwise known as someone I mistook for Morgan Freeman when I was younger, otherwise known as the main protagonist from Half-Life 1 and 2. You bring down the Vault, and lo and behold, it's not Gordon Freeman. It's the anime kid who thinks he's the main character. Whoa! The G-Man gives Alyx a choice. She can either save her father from dying in Half-Life 2 Episode 2, or to live free from the G-Man, which the game forces you to save Eli. Before moving on, I would just like to say the end credit scene in Alyx it's so good. I know it only advances the story like 2 seconds, but it's so good.
Wake up, Gordon. She's gone, Gordon. She's gone. Son of a bitch, it has unforeseen consequences. I knew it. When I get my hands on him, I'm gonna kill him.
Boneworks, it definitely has a story. You start off in the archive or incinerate room of MythOS, MythOS being created by Monogon, the company you, Arthur Ford, work for. But, uh-oh, you secretly work for Gammon, the competitor to Monogon. Basically, you're trying to shut down MythOS, and when you cause MythOS to go into lockdown, null bodies and other enemies start hunting you down. You eventually fight to the Time Tower and have to fight other versions of yourself and get caught in the real world by Monogon employees and killed, but your virtual self will still live on. Honestly, I don't know where to rank either of these two. Both Alyx and Boneworks have interesting stories if you either know the lore or the games that came before them, so I'll just end up giving a point to both. Boneworks feels like you're young and your parents are out for the weekend. I feel like I can climb, shoot, grab just about anything in this game. This game will even let you grab your own. Sure, the game has its problems and definitely isn't 100% polished, but this game isn't from a big name studio, it's from a small studio with like 3 games to their name. Boneworks gives the player total control of what is happening at all times, and if you don't want to play that puzzle, you don't have to. You can just climb a wall that the puzzle would lead you to. And I can say that because that's exactly what I did.
There's this whole part right here where you have to do a puzzle. It's super long and complicated. But if you have a big brain, you would know you can come over here. You can climb this wall. And then I have to climb that wall again. I'm gonna have a brain aneurysm. I'm gonna throw my computer out of a moving car.
Half-Life Alyx feels like if you took a stick of butter and just crammed it into a VR headset. The level of polish, small details, things that make you feel like you're really in this world is insane. It's made by a big company, aka the Gabe Newell Special, aka Valve, and it definitely shows. You feel grounded in this new reality you've been placed in, and nothing else can compete with that. So while I do like how Alyx feels over Boneworks, being a stick of butter isn't always a good thing. Sometimes I want the full meal. Half-Life Alyx, like previously stated, is like taking a VR game and lathering it more thoroughly than the peanut butter baby. All animations, characters, enemies feel like if you went to McDonald's and dropped them in a fryer until golden brown, but I can't interact with 90% of what's in any of these rooms. Sure, you can pick up small objects, or sometimes if the game is feeling a little flirtatious, it'll let you pick up a bicycle. But most of the time, everything is stuck in place. I can't move a dresser for cover or have any strategy to how my playing field is laid out. Boneworks is a little more loosey-goosey, if you will. In part 2 of the no shooting challenge, I placed a trash can over my own body, ran down an alleyway full of enemies, and didn't die.
You know what? Do you think I can... No shot. I will actually be so surprised if this works. No, my trash can. Please. Fast. Oh my god.
That is not at all a possibility in Alyx. Like I said previously, I can climb things, shoot things, use my weapons as things to slide on. There's just so much more you can interact with in Boneworks. Point obviously goes to the Arthur Ford special. Before we continue, here's a new segment of the videos I'd like to call Viewie's Hot Gamer Facts. Did you know the first game played in space was none other than Tetris on the Game Boy? In 1993, an astronaut whose name I won't even try to pronounce played Tetris on a spaceship. Alright, that's pretty cool. Alright, back to the video. Combat in Boneworks is a hit or miss for me. At least for melee weapons, half the time I swing and almost nothing happens. Guns and knives seem to work pretty well, but blunt weapons like a baseball bat just fall flat for me. While that's definitely a negative, at least Boneworks has melee weapons. That's right, Alyx, the game whose main franchise protagonist is known for its crowbar? Yeah, no such thing here. You can mod Alyx to give the crowbar during the main game, but it's personally kind of clunky seeing as you can't mount the crowbar anywhere and are forced to always hold on to it.
Yo, when the zombie has fresher kicks than you... Sorry, yeah, I'm just gonna...
Although, to give a fair comparison, guns in both Half-Life Alyx and Boneworks are handled extremely well, except Valve thinking our little monkey brains aren't bright enough to handle two-handed weapons. Now I get it, two-handed weapons in VR are a little funky since I can't just move my gun like a normal gun, but at least give me that as an option. Sometimes my little monkey brain thinks that holding a weapon with two hands adds stability. That's gonna give a point to Boneworks for two-handed weapons and melee weapons. Alyx gives the player the option to either have teleportation movement or standard continuous movement for those more familiar with VR. It gives new players who are just getting past the stand and shoot type of games an easier experience moving around. But whoever thought to not include this must have had COVID or something, because there is no in-game option for a seated experience. You can do this through Steam VR as a whole, but if a free game like VR Chat can do this without changing the entire VR program, so can a multi-billion-dollar company like Valve. Boneworks lets you adjust your height, arm length, and seated or standing gameplay, something that, again, should be implemented in the game itself. Point to Arthur Ford's death. Whether you're a Half-Life fan or not, Alyx is a game you could play totally blind to the other games that came before it and still get the gist of what's going on. Fight the bad guys, help the good guys. Who the fuck is this again? Boneworks is a great feeling game, where I don't know of many games where you're technically a double agent for two companies, but I didn't catch any of that for my first run through. Just like running through your neighborhood naked at 2 AM, this game is the embodiment of free VR gameplay. But I am, again, gonna give a point to both, because not only is Boneworks the most free-feeling game of VR, before Alyx, I think the entire gaming community would have pantsed you if you said Half-Life would get another title strictly in VR. Talking back to the previous stick of butter comment, I personally believe Alyx is a stepping stone between those used to games like Beat Saber and Super Hot, games where you just stand and move your arms, into more serious movement focused VR games. I played Alyx for the first time on the teleportation movement, but my second run through I switched that setting to continuous, and either way you're still getting the full experience. Boneworks lets you fall out of a tall ass building you climbed yourself, just to say fuck you kid, give no fall damage to you. I've had plenty of clunky movement experiences where I'm just trying to climb something and my in-game body is getting in the way. So Alyx obviously gets this category, right? Well, yes, but I'm still going to give Boneworks half a point. Mostly because, though it's clunky sometimes, I would still highly prefer this style of movement over Alyx's. Alright, this one's going to be short and sweet. Bone Lab is the next game in the series set to release this year, and any Half-Life fan knows waiting on Valve to give us info on their own games is like asking Batman if he could go easy for once. Point to Boneworks. So Alyx is at 5 points and Boneworks is at 6.5. But like I said, if you have the money, purchase both of them. Both games are great experiences and I can't wait for Bone Lab to come out. I did switch it up a little bit in this video, so let me know if you guys like it. One announcement, really quick. Some of you may have noticed I've been uploading shorts of videos on here, and while I do feel like they've helped my channel grow, I'm going to solely upload shorts on the Viewie Shorts page. Go check it out if you want. It's just clips of videos from here, but still. Thank you all for watching, and bless the people pushing my content recently to hit 400 subs, and I will see you all soon. Alright, this is after the whole script. I'm looking at my channel right now. We're at 399. So by the time this video is uploaded, it'll probably be at 400. So thanks guys. Thanks for 400. Alright, bye.
Nice.